Welcome back. We got game 2 between Batman versus Superman.
Woo!
Just kidding. That's tonight at the movie theater, baby.
See you there.
Yeah.
See you there.
No, just kidding. We got ADP Gaming versus Malicious Intent, and game 1 going to Malicious Intent. It's just as hyped as I am for this movie tonight.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got to really think about who's going to win. Batman, Superman.
It's obviously Batman.
It's like obviously going to be Batman. I mean, you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
When he stopped the
Ben
punch and he's like, boom.
Ben Affleck wrote the thing. Of course he's going to make. He's not going to
Are
lose.
you sure Matt Damon didn't write it?
Oh, right.
Yeah. But anyways,
Ben Affleck's brother wrote it.
Ben Affleck's brother.
I can't remember his name. The Afflecks.
Mattflix.
No.
Netflix.
No.
Affleck and Chill.
Yeah, I can't remember his brother, but he's cool.
But anyways, a couple bans here coming over in this game.
We got a League of Legends game to catch.
Yeah, Malicious Intent is going to be taking away that Sejuani and Morgana. Flamefire not going to be getting one of his signature champions here. And the ADP is actually going to take away that Shen, which I thought was actually one of the better things that we saw out of them that entire game. Actually, Flamefire playing a great game.
But I guess they just they didn't like the style comp they got, so they take it away from Mo Money, which definitely works, but it depends. I'm wondering to see what they take away here. Third, Alistar Shen, 2 support bans so far, so maybe they take away the Graves, maybe they take away something that
the Zillion,
the Zillion, also all 3 support bans.
Yeah,
that would be Mo Money's wet dream, and they do it.
It's pretty bold, honestly, to leave the Graves up for the first pick for Similidon.
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely one of the go-to things for them now, especially with all those support bans being taken away. Now, normally that's something you'd want to take for Mo Money, is his support early on.
He's going to be smiling in his seat right now, seeing these bans. But, yeah, they are... Graves up, scary thought. A lot of power picks are still up when you take away more target bans.
And it looks like they might actually go for this Jhin, which I was just about to say, still available, actually. That was banned away last game. And, I mean, still a very, very powerful pick here. And, I mean, it's something that probably would suit their style for Malicious Intent. And they are going to pick that up really early on, actually. Not going to opt for that Graves. Going to give them the opportunity to take that away for ADP Gaming. But, I mean, you got to wonder, Mo Money, those aren't his only 3 support champions. We've seen him play other stuff in SKL, and so the fact that they focused those 3.
Braum is still available too, so
yeah, Braum's still available. We've even seen him play stuff like Vel'Koz.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Soraka, Lulu.
Exactly. So I mean, he's still got a lot of tools to work with. So taking those 3 picks away, I don't know if that was something necessarily that the team might have wanted to do. Maybe something that really hurt them that game. That was 3v1ing them last game. Like the Graves might have been a better one. But they're going to take the Ezreal and the Braum here early on for the bot lane. Going to round that out very early on. Get themselves a great setup.
If we're talking like power supports, the only real one up left would be the Bard, I would say. But honestly, power supports don't really matter for Team Malicious Intent, as they can just stomp on anybody with any kind of style game they want.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Graves and the Gragas being picked up again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they're obviously going to pick up those 2 picks that seem to go very, very well for him early on there. Help Me had a great game on the Gragas last time. Had some great flash body slams, had some great explosive casts, some great engage. And Similidon obviously did Similidon things on that Graves.
Too bad we won't be seeing any of that new champ come today.
No.
We gotta wait 2 more weeks for that.
Aurelion Sol. I'm psyched.
Oh my god, it looked so broken. I was watching some Twitch today, and it just looked stupid. Like, I do not want to... Yeah, I'm permabanning that champion until it is fixed. I won't even care if I don't get to play it. I just ban. Unless I'm first pick.
You're not gonna buy it though, is the thing, are you?
I already bought it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Ooh, but I like this. We're gonna see the Lux and the Zac picked up here for ADP Gaming. Zac in the flame jungle for Flamefire. Very strong pick here for him. Offers a lot of the same tools as Sejuani does. Very tanky. Got a lot of engage. Great early clears. So I mean, Zac is gonna be a great pickup for them. I feel.
I always hate when the Zac appears from literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, Fog of War.
Jumps from Dragon all the way to mid lane. It just, woo! Ooh, here comes his shadow, and just bops me, and just.
Yeah, it is very frustrating to play against Zach, especially
when they get ahead and then they just show up out of literally anywhere they want.
Yeah, because they can put down so much pressure on the map just to the amount of engaged tools that they have and the amount of range that they can kind of use there. And like you were saying, Soraka, something that we've seen from Mo Money, and actually the Azir going to be taken away and now given over to Never Lucky this time, where he was playing the LeBlanc on the other side of that matchup last time. But the Soraka, I feel like that's going to be a very frustrating pick, especially against these teams. This team that's so centric around carries yet again.
Yeah.
So going with the Soraka, going to be able to heal up that Graves and the Jhin even more.
I'm surprised they decided to pick the Lux in that second rotation for ADP Gaming, because they already knew the top lane Graves was going to be coming out. So because the only 3 lanes Graves can play is jungle, AD carry, and top, and they already picked.
I don't know, man. He could play mid if you really wanted.
He could, I guess.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to. TSN never like. I don't even put it past Team Malicious intent to play it, but they don't. They save the counter pick to something that they already know, and then end up giving all the counter picks, the mid lane counter pick, over to Team Malicious intent.
We're going to see the Malphite actually picked up your
I actually like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to offer them the more engaged tools on top of the Zac. It's going to offer them...
They're going to go right after this squishy bot lane and the Azir, unless nice Serima shuffle.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is the unstoppable force from Malphite can go right through the Emperor's Divide, too. Oh, yeah. So that's not going to save the little tough guy.
But, like, I mean, if after knock-up, he can push everyone back, right?
Yeah. But the thing is that's not a comp you exactly want to be picking Jhin into.
No.
If you would have had the chance to see that, I bet you Little Tough Guy would have had second thoughts about maybe locking in the Jhin.
Yeah, maybe he would have rather had the Ezreal.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, but still, I mean, Jhin, very strong pick. But I mean, he's gonna have to definitely put on his dancing shoes here, as he's gonna be playing that into a very engage-heavy comp, and they're gonna be diving that backline constantly with all the amount of range that they're gonna have with that Zac jump and the unstoppable force on this Malphite. So something that they're going to have to be very, very careful of, and a lot of frontline here, actually, from ADP Gaming, where, again, they really only have the Gragas on the side of Malicious Intent, so still opting for a carry-heavy style from them.
And I like how both teams drafted here, and I'm excited to see how this one's going to play out. So we're going to take a quick break here as both teams are loading in, and we'll be right back with game number 2 between Malicious Intent and ADP Gaming.
Our backs against the wall. It seems impossible, but there's nobody else by my side standing with me to take this fight. We dream so colorful. Oh, we love
Up, squad, we are back with Batman versus Superman.
Yep. Can't wait. Woo! Got me too hyped. There's two teams duking it out, and you can't. And the movie comes out tonight. You can't not drop that meme in there.
It's just a night full of hype. But guys, we're actually going to be jumping into game here with Malicious Intent versus ADP Gaming. On the blue side, we have Malicious Intent with Similidon in the top lane, playing that Graves once again. Help me in the jungle, playing Gragas. Never Lucky in the mid lane, playing Azir. And Lil Tough Guy and Mo Money rounding out the bot lane with a Jhin and Soraka.
Yeah, and on the red side, we have ADP Gaming with Azog bringing in that rock in the top lane, Malphite. And in the mid jungle, we got that Blob Zac, and in the mid lane, Lux, and in the bot lane, we got Ezreal Braum.
So, looks like they're going to try and lock someone in a museum here as they're going to be roaming it as a 5-man squad, kind of like they did last game here. And they might actually catch out Jhin a little bit here, but the ward is going to spot him out very early on there. Little Tough Guy just going to back off of that one. They're going to notice that they're spotted out, so they're going to back off very early on, maybe try and catch someone on the flip side of the engages. Again, we saw this last time. They waited until there was some kind of vision of ADP Gaming, and then Malicious Intent immediately took advantage of it and then did a deep invade. They're going to try and get some vision. Not quite as deep as last time as they tried to spot out what looked to be lane swaps, but
I don't think they really expect
no,
that.
yeah.
I think they just try, they're invading us, so let's go get deep wards like the pros do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they ended up putting 2 deep of wards, spotted under tower, and knew that they were there.
It was definitely a tough early game there from both sides, but Malicious Intent, I'd say, got the better end of it for the most part. But once again here, Little Tough Guy, Mo Money, they might actually try and get a little bit of invade of their own, a little bit of a cheeky Gromp harassment here from both of them, Egolocity. I don't think they're going to try and take this, though. They might actually just try and spot someone out trying to steal it away. And they are actually going to catch Little Tough Guy on the back end. Concussive Blow is going to stack onto him, actually, and that is going to be Exhaust. Heal Burn, though, for Little Tough Guy. Actually going to force the Flash as well. Flash coming out of Braum, though. Not going to be able to land that. Mo Money actually going to get slowed up here, and the Q's going to land Mo Money. He's going to be taking a lot of damage there. The heal's going to be coming out, though. Little Tough Guy, and he's going to go down for first blood. Lol is lol, picking up the first kill of the game there from a pretty aggressive invade there from the side of Malicious Intent.
I don't know if you necessarily want to be picking a fight with a Braum level 1. You just show right there how strong that is, picking up 2 stuns. What did they have to burn? Flash, heal, and an exhaust from Mo Money. 3 summoners burned on the side of Team Malicious Intent, and just, I guess, 3 summoners on both sides.
Yeah, because, I mean, when you think about the level 1 versus the level 1, if there's any kind of vision there, Jhin Soraka is not going to have nearly as good of a level 1 as a Ezreal and Braum. So, definitely a tough go. Definitely very aggressive there, so that's going to be a pretty hefty advantage here for LoL as well there. It's going to definitely equate into a very early tier for him there. And we also do see like some nice advantages coming up for either side, but Eliana not having the best go there, but he's going to win the trade overall after he does miss the snare there. The nice support there from Flamefire is going to be able to give him a little bit of breathing room in the mid lane at least. Similidon just going to do what he's trying to do there. Farm up, work towards a very aggressive build, and then might see him coming back here with a couple items early on. Gonna have to see whether they focus attention there again like they did last game, you know, in that pre-level 6 kind of equation, which Similidon ended up getting the best of, even though the Flamefire was making his way to the top side there. Similidon ended up picking up first blood in a 2v1 situation. Azog taking a lot of harassment under his own tower there. Malphite, not the best one to be farming under tower.
No, and I think this is a lane where Malphite knows that he might not be able to keep up necessarily in CS, but as long as he can get some gold income, he doesn't need the largest gold income to be effective in team fights. And when these team fights come, all you need to do is land your ultimate and mass CC them, and that's really your only job. As long as you're tanky enough and have enough armor against the Jhin Graves, you might need a couple MR items with a Azir and a Gragas, or 1 at least. But
yeah,
really, as long as, and he's only down 4 CS at this point, which I think is a great job by Azog, considering he was probably down more on an 80 carry last matchup.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, more or less, your job as the Malphite isn't really to win the lane. It's more or less to just stay relevant until the team fights happen, because that's where really the Malphite's going to shine. You're going to want to kind of hold on to your guns, and then you're going to try and get your items that you're going to need. So you're going to want to get that Bomby Cinder, you're going to want to get that Sunfire Cape, then you're going to want to get like that Iceborne Gauntlet, and then you're going to be really hitting your strides there at that point. And then that's where you're going to really start doing work after that, especially into something like this Graves, who does so much AD. But here's Help Me in the bot side. They're going to try and land the snare onto Agilocity, and he's going to be taking a little bit low there, but not enough follow-up from the rest of the squad is going to let him actually walk away from that one. Flash still on cooldown from him, so he did not have that available. But on the flip side, not a lot of people from the other side did either. Little Tough Guy still having a lot of cooldowns on his abilities, so not a lot of follow-up there. But we do see Flamefire looking for the jump into this team here, and he actually might get it as Little Tough Guy is stepping up a little bit, gonna land the jump onto him, and they're actually gonna see the Arcane Shift in from Law's Law right onto the Silence, and they're gonna land the Q onto Mo Money, and he's gonna actually get the Exhaust put onto him too, and that's gonna use the movement speed buff onto the Jhin there, and it's gonna help him walk away, and they're not gonna be able to pop the concussive blows, and that's actually gonna be a turnaround onto Agilocity as he's taking just way too much damage from that 4th crit of the Jhin. And that is going to be a nice little pickup there for them, as he already did have a little bit of lead in the CS department. So even though they did get that early tier, it's not a lot of early damage on that, so not going to be able to actually pick up too much on their end, and ended up forcing it a little bit too hard there. Agilocity paid with his life.
Yeah, it felt like Law's Law was a little bit behind on that engage. I think if Ezreal has a great ability to proc those Braum stack passives. I combined that word.
Concussive blows, yeah.
Yeah, I combined that word right there. I don't know why. But it definitely didn't help. It was a great idea to go on the Soraka, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And they exhausted, and I don't know why they weren't able to proc the passive. But
the problem was that we saw that Law's Law, he Arcane Shifted right onto the Silence, and then he got rooted there, and so he wasn't able to follow up with the rest of the squad after that point. So, yeah, he was behind, but it wasn't more or less to his own fault. It was to kind of the positioning, and Mo Money played that fantastically, putting down the Silence in a great spot that he knew that they either had to go around it, which would have slowed them down, or they would have had to go through it, which would have slowed them down even more. So kind of made them choose between two tough choices. So
yeah,
great spot for that Silence to be thrown down. But Mo Money is going to try and save that pink ward, but Agilocity is going to be able to battle for that one actually and pick that up for them. Going to be able to get a little bit of vision freedom there, as they're going to throw down another one for a Little Tough Guy though. So forcing them to use those pink wards pretty liberally, at least.
Yeah, very, actually. And I'm not entirely sure if that blue buff was taken or why Eliana wasn't able to pick it up, because that's something that really helps a Lux CS stay away from ganks. I'm not sure if Flamefire took it or if it hasn't spawned yet. I don't think it's...
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually spawned.
But I did notice. I also last game I noticed that Eliana wasn't getting many of the blue buffs even on Azir, which obviously would help so much.
Yeah, it just might not be Flamefire style. You might go for like a very farm heavy type jungle pathing.
All buffs are mine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's definitely how I jungle. I barely ever give like buffs over. You guys can definitely attest to that, but not having the best time farming under tower actually, as he's pretty there. Lol is lol, and he's gonna have a little bit of CS down to this Jhin, and he's gonna actually be forced to back here to maybe pick himself up a little bit of damage. He's gonna pick up that Sheen for himself, which is gonna be nice when it comes to trading. But this BF sword on Little Tough Guy, that 4th crit is gonna hit very, very hard, so they're gonna be very careful. Agilocity taking a little bit of damage there actually just from the auto snare coming out of Little Tough Guy.
Jhin. I feel like Ezreal should do a decent job of kiting him out, though. If he is getting that movement speed crits towards people, Ezreal should be able to slow that down and just contain the Jhin from proccing that potential 4th. Oh, and they're actually looking into going some Mildon right now. And it was looked like a decent engage there by Azog, and Flash burned. So I would expect another gank soon, maybe even just wrap around if you're Flamefire. Oh, but Help Me is here, so never mind. I didn't see that.
Yeah, and it looks like the Azir is actually making his way topside too. Eliana, everyone's kind of making their way topside.
Where's this bot lane? TP top. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's, but the snare going to land onto Agilocity again, but it's still a lot of action on the top side as everyone's starting to back off now. But everyone was kind of just kind of waiting for the other team to kind of play chicken first off, but everyone's going to back off. Rift Herald probably going to be picked up here for Help Me and the side of Malicious Intent there, which is definitely going to help them a little bit out here. But Eliana might just try and harass him a little bit off of that one, but he's going to end up backing off. Agilocity, he's out a little bit farther than maybe he should. Taking a lot of damage here, actually. Silence forced a flash again there. Little tough guy doing a lot of damage back in a pull. The curtain call, actually. Going to be able to see whether he's going to actually be able to pick up the call. Shots being fired. Nothing being picked up, though, as he just was able to actually sit in the brush and back.
I think he walked outside of the range of the Jin ult.
But that's going to be a lot of damage back on him there. He's actually going to be rooted up, as well as the double snare. Little tough guy going to pick up that kill for himself there. So if it's not going to be one, it's going to be the other. The double snares is just, it's too much to ask for. I mean, we saw the Morgana banned away, but I mean, there's other options out there. This Soraka, it's offering a lot more utility than just the
heals.
The heals, exactly.
But I feel like Flamefire should have definitely camped this lane. Like, Soraka is such a lane where if you're behind, you can still win late game. You'll still finish even in CS. And if you win, then that's just even punished even more, as you're seeing right now. So if you're definitely Flamefire, camp that lane, focus the Soraka down, I think. Then get the Jin, because Jin only has 4 autos to give.
Yeah.
And as a Zac, I don't think those 4 autos will kill you.
Yeah. I mean, this is also looking tough for Azog here. I mean, he does have armor already, but still being forced back under his tower here from Similidon, not really being able to do much for himself here. And, I mean, just, the ultimate actually going to be coming out. But we are going to see another snare onto Agilocity, trying to fight for another ward, but going to be forced out of that tri-brush. Just trying to do the best he can, at least here. Help Me make it his way. They're going to use the flash body slam. Explosive cast going to be going in onto him here. Flash coming out of Azog, though. Going to go right back under tower. No ultimate, though, from Similidon to be able to follow that up, so they're not going to be able to pick up the kill on that one. So a lot of summoners burned to try and pick up Azog in that top lane, but gonna really end up with nothing really after that, except for a burn summoner from Azog. But maybe, 1-for-1 trade for Flash.
Maybe get the tower top. I'm not sure if Similidon will have the damage to do it quite yet, or maybe they'll have to burn the TP, but they're looking to punish the dragon here, and a missed snare onto TSM Neverlucky, showing his luck there, and maybe a TP.
Agilocity, he's playing a little bit fast and loose there. Same with Flamefire, actually. Gonna actually pop the Zac passive, but here comes Azog, gonna use the ultimate onto 3 members.
No one else there.
Yeah, no follow-up from the rest of the team. Actually, a little tough guy gonna pick up that one on a killing spree now. Lawless actually gonna go down as well to Help Me, and they're gonna pick up another kill on the back end of that. So it's gonna be 1-for-1 trade, but Curtain Call coming out there, gonna land all 3, and the 4th one actually gonna land on Eliana, but not enough damage to be able to pick that one up. Gonna be back under the mid lane tower. So all in all, that was a 3-for-1 onto TSM Neverlucky.
Yeah.
So far so good here for Malicious Intent.
Oh yeah, despite that weak level 1 fight, I'm not still sure what they were attempting to do there, but despite that, lanes ahead, Malphite uses, I think if he would have been able to use the ult onto save it instead of trying to save Flamefire with the ult, who's already dead, just trying to save Zac passive isn't really worth the Malphite ult cooldown. I think if he uses it more onto TSM Neverlucky, he dies sooner. Everyone else doesn't get as low. Law's ult doesn't die as soon. They might be able to trade 1-for-1.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of on different pages.
Or 1-for-2, because Agilocity died pretty quick.
Yeah, different pages as far as the engagement, because Agilocity kind of just went as a one-man onto the Azir there and just got chunked out, where we also saw Flamefire go as one-man onto the Jin and just Soraka bot lane.
The whole team ADP splits completely. Like, that's complete miscommunication on who they're trying to focus down. Because Zac, they peel off Dragon, Braum, Lux, Lush, Ezreal go to TSM Neverlucky, and Zac just decides, I'm gonna jump over here the other way, and then I guess Azog must have decided, oh man, that sounds sick. I'm coming too. I'm TPing in.
Yeah. So I think if they would have focused onto like one member like TSM Help Me. Or Neverlucky, sorry.
Complete mix.
Whoopsie. But yeah, if they would have focused down onto Neverlucky, they might have actually been able to pick something up there. I mean, he did still have Emperor's Divide, but at least getting that cooldown out early on would have maybe helped them out a little bit. But Still, exactly. So a little bit more cohesiveness between the two. But Help Me going to actually throw out the explosive cast there. Going to use the ultimate from the Lux. Not going to be able to pick up the kill, but very close. And we are going to see the Tilly in the top lane. Similidon forced to use Flash again. Going to have to use his ultimate to give himself better positioning too. Azog trying to go under turret. But a lot of damage traded back there from Similidon actually. Again, another unsuccessful dive onto the top side of the map. Gonna equate into really nothing. Again, Similidon doing his best just to stay alive. He does have a lot of damage on his side now with that Death Dance, though.
I feel like that gank should have came 2 minutes sooner when Flash was actually down. Like, they're wasting these cooldowns. They burn the cooldown, show up literally, and show up as soon as Graves shows his face top, and they'll be able to kill. As soon as Malphite ult and Zac ult are back up, they should kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Similidon.
But they are going to land the concussive stacks onto the little tough guy again here, but they're not going to be able to follow it up too much as the heals are coming out from Mo Money, and they're just going to turn this around again. Keep pushing out the bot lane here as, I mean, the trading power from Jhin with a bouncing grenade as well as that fourth auto, it's huge. So, I mean, they don't really have too much you know, ground to work with here as just the double snare again. But here comes Flamefire X in the bot lane there. The silence coming out from Mo Money, not going to be able to pick up too much. The Glacial Fissure is going to do a lot, but not going to be enough as they're going to try and pop the passive from the Braum, and they are going to be able to pick up a kill there. Flamefire X going to pick that one up for himself. And
see how easy that is? The Jhin is not doing enough damage to kill, to bop Flamefire with that fourth auto, and they kill the squishy one healing, and now they could even dive, I think, if they wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
so right now Jhin has to play super safe, or either call for backup from Help Me, or a TP from Similidon is going to have to be burned if they want.
And teleport from Azog is almost back up as well. So
oh yeah, well, that was quick.
Yeah, so they have to be very, very careful of that. Flamefire making his way mid lane though, but Help Me is waiting in the wings as well. So not a lot of follow up there. But Jhin pinging the MIAs, no one's really in the bot side either, so they didn't actually decide to push their agenda a little bit there. They're actually going to be rotating towards this mid lane. Maybe get a little bit of pressure there, but everyone just kind of backing off, taking their own towers. So even though they got that kill, they weren't really able to translate it into much of anything. And again, we see nobody really focusing down Similidon either, just kind of letting him have his way with the top lane here. He did pick up the tower himself, as well as he's kind of getting a bigger and bigger CS discrepancy on top of his lane opponent once again.
Malphite should probably... It's still no item completed for him, but I guess it's not really needed the largest gold income out of a champion, like I was saying before. Still gonna be doing huge work in a team fight if he's landing an ultimate onto Little Tough Guy and Mo Money. That would probably save a fight if they
here comes Help Me, as they are going to miss the snare though, as he's going to be able to stand beside his Ezreal there. But Flamefire actually waiting in the wings here as well. Help Me though, they know he's in the area, they know that this is going to be a 3-on-3 at best. So are they going to be able to try and follow this up? But here comes the rest of the squad. Similidon actually walked his way down to the bot lane, so they have to be very, very careful. No one knows that he's quite there yet, but here comes the rest of the team.
Flank from Azog on the deep ward, as they don't even know if he's there.
Oh man, and that is going to be a great ultimate from Eliana, going to be able to pick up two members there and one kill for themselves. And Little Tough Guy going to go down actually for the end. Azog picking that one up. Similidon very, very low. Yeah, that was an absolute perfect play there. Eliana, just a clutch final spark there, picking up one kill and chunking out Similidon to almost no health. So he was completely a non-factor in that one. And then the rest of the team was able to follow up. Azog, great flank, able to really knock up this immobile Jhin. No tools for him to really get out of there, as there are still no summoners there. Flamefire going in again. Mo Money's so low, but is he going to be able to pick it up? He's going to get silenced by the Soraka. She's not going to be able to do too much, though. Still fighting on the end there. Pop the passive, though. But the Sunfire cape might actually be enough to outdo her, so they have to be careful that they don't follow it up too much, focus around too much. The Iceborne actually going to be enough to chunk out Help Me. They have to be very careful. Final spark up once again, and they're going to probably be able to pick up this kill. They're going to actually go in with the Arcane Shift, pick up the kill under the tower. There's going to be another one for Lolzol. 3-2-2, and now they're going to be on top of the dragon.
Great turnaround there from ADP, as we see Little Tough Guy looking to curtain call into the Dragon Pit. I don't think it'll be able to pick up anybody unless it lands the last one on Egglosity. Oh, and actually TSM Never Lucky able to get some soldiers in there and take away the kill from him. But that was great map plays by Flamefire and the rest of his team. I'm loving the front line they are bringing and really showing the lack of front line out of Team Malicious Intent, as they have the Soraka and not really able to do the same kind of things as Braum / Malphite / Zac.
Yeah, exactly. So if they can keep using this front line to try and punish the immobile carry that is Little Tough Guy, then they can definitely shut him down consistently. But it's going to be whether or not they can keep finding those opportunities like Eliana found to shut out those 2 carries of Similodon and Never Lucky. If she can keep landing those clutch final sparks onto key members of the team and chunking them out to the fact that they're not going to be huge factors in the fights, then that's going to be huge once it translates into the later parts of this game here. So now that she's going to have some items finished up here, she's got the Morellonomicon, she's got needlessly large rod, but oh man, Flamefire just uses hop into the red buff pit, and now he's going to be stuck there silent, going to catch him out there, and they're actually going to be able to pop him very fast. And there's also going to be the red buff transferred over to Similodon very, very fast.
Eliana knows she's in trouble right now.
Yeah.
Getting out in a hurry. Flashes
Nice
in the
flash.
right direction.
Nice flash with the snare, actually going to pick it up on the tail end as Sarima shuffle into Emperor's Divide. Going to be a nice, clean-looking kill picked up there for the side of Team Malicious Intent, and they're going to actually force down this mid tower very, very fast. So they really were a little bit low on the momentum side, and then just really put pedal to the metal and picked it up there.
A nice little catch there onto Flamefire. You got to have better vision of. They had 5 people in the jungle there. You got to know better, and just
no.
You think you outplay the team, and with that nice little flash there by Eliana, and Jin just from long range away, lands the CC, and they're looking for that 21-minute Baron right now with Soraka able to heal them up.
Absolutely, they can do it though. I mean, they have a lot of tools to be able to rip down this Baron. They have double 80 carries, and now Agilocity getting snared up a little bit here. They're going to be able to turn that one around. TSM Never Lucky going to be able to pick that one up. Flamefire using his ultimate into the team though, and he's going to be able to curtain call. Little Tough Guy to pick that up. They're going to get the slows on Azog though. Is he going to be able to get out? Help Me is going to have to use the body time to get in there. Similodon going to do what he can to use the damage, having to use the Unstoppable Force to get out of the fight, and that is going to be how it's going to be written out there. But that is going to be the Baron picked up here actually very early on for Team Malicious Intent, and I mean that went from very little things happening to a lot. One big swing here very, very fast in just the last couple minutes.
It felt like ADP, like I don't know if they like Law's Law was nowhere close. He was alive. Flamefire came in, decided they were all gonna all in, except for they didn't all in. Like Azog, no ult goes in. He saves it another 20 seconds and uses it to get out. I'm not really sure. They tried to all in. They were short numbers. Maybe he should have attempted to steal. I don't know. They're burning all the cooldowns anyway. So like,
Flamefire. I don't know if this is where he really wants to be around. Actually, I mean, doesn't have a lot of backup here, and the rest of the team is kind of collapsing in on him here, and he's gonna get silenced out. Actually, that's gonna be another kill picked up for Never Lucky, killing spree for him now. And this Azir is definitely picking up a lot of steam here as he's finished up the Nashor's Tooth, as well as he's got the Rylai's. So he's going to have a lot of DPS he's going to be pumping out, and a lot of slows going into the fight, but that is going to be a lot of damage back on to Help Me. Going to try and pop the concussive stacks. The Glacial Fissure is actually going to come out, but it's going to be in the wrong direction. Not going to zone him off completely there, but Similodon wanting this fight against Azog, but definitely trading back pretty well for himself there. And the Flash Body Stomp going to pick up Agilocity there for Help Me. And this is just one by one there, just going down slowly. Curtain Call coming out for a Little Tough Guy again, as this extended fight in the top lane for this Hex Drinker Graves is just going to continually be pushing on to Azog. Des Dance doing a lot of work to heal him up there. Same with the Warlord's Bloodlust, and going to keep pushing onto this tower. But here comes Help Me and the rest of the squad now. Going to use that Unstoppable Force to get himself out of the fight, having to force the flash as well. Rotating as a squad there. Waves perfectly prepped from Similodon. This Baron buff, they're really utilizing it to the best of its ability.
They are playing the map so wisely right now with this Baron. The Baron power play has got to be off the charts, as they're now up 10, 11k. And slowly breaking into the base of ADP Gaming, and I hope they can finish this game off with a little bit more decisiveness than last time. Last time I feel like they were a little more skeptical of whether they had this much of a lead, but right now they have the lead. They only have given up 1 tower and 6 kills, so that's quite a gold lead, even just knowing that you're only up 7 kills. If you're looking at that part, that might not look to the greatest lead, but when you have 5 towers to 1,
So yeah,
it really equates to much more gold than you think, especially when all your leads, your CS, all your lanes are also up in CS.
yeah. I mean, like you were saying, it seems like last game they didn't know that they had as big a lead as they did. This game, it definitely feels like it. I mean, they realized that they had the ability to take that 20-minute Baron. They know that they have kind of the reins in this one at least. So, like you were saying, maybe a little more decisiveness with closing this one out.
'Cause I feel
and
like they could win in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like if they win this next team fight, they're going to be pushing on inhibitors for sure.
Especially if they get more than just one.
Yeah, because now they don't even have the option to go Baron, but they are going to fight for this Dragon here. A nice snare on Agilocity is going to chunk them out almost completely. Flamefire hopping into the team there. Curtain Call coming out very, very early. Going to be canceled out, though, from Flamefire. Final Spark going to be going in, doing a lot of damage, but Azog going to be chunked out very, very low from this Azir. Double kill picked up for him already. Might be a triple here, but Help Me's actually going to pick that one up in the end. They're going to rotate onto the Dragon, but actually the passive going to be killed off by Similidon. So there's going to be a killing spree for this Graves. And now they're going to be realizing that, yeah, I mean, all the cards are kind of in their deck, and the only one left alive is Lol. So they're going to be just grouping up as 5, going towards his mid lane. Now that they have a Dragon in their favor as well, going to be kind of getting that stacking for them as well. And going to be pushing on to this inhibitor tower.
Death timers? They can get easy.
Very short death timer still.
Easy inhibitor though, and probably another one after this. I'm assuming they're gonna go stop that wave bot.
Yeah.
Push that wave in, get that tier 2 while Graves pushes in top tower. They'll have super minions in the mid lane. It's just gonna be classic map rotations from here on out. I would expect nothing less. And the timer on the game is on now, and I want it to be done by 30 minutes.
Yeah, we got a Batman versus Superman to go see. Let's go. Come on.
But that's not really the reason. I just want to see some decisive calls come out of them and see the like when you're this far ahead, you got to be able to close the game out in the right way and in the right manner, not be slow about it or wavering in your decision making.
Yeah. And I gotta say, TSM Never Lucky has looked very, very slick so far on this year, actually. I mean, some great mechanics. We've seen some nice Shurima shuffles into Emperor's Divides, which have made great team plays there. So he's really a playmaker on this Azir, which is showing a lot of proficiencies here. As we can see, just the goal discrepancies between the lanes now. Each lane has quite a substantial lead, more or less around 2,000 for each lane.
2,000 or more in every single lane.
So I mean, that's definitely you can see that in the total gold versus lane gold. It's not just one lane that's kind of taking it to the other team. It's every lane is kind of stepping up here for sure. So realizing that it's not just Similidon this game that's going to have the huge lead. They know that they can definitely force their hand onto these objectives, as Baron is going to be up in another minute. And I mean, if I know Malicious Intent, they're going to have their eyes on that one pretty handedly too. Looks like Help Me though actually wants to go for a Tilly here with Azog, and he might just have it too. Similidon is going to be trying to follow that up. Smokescreen going to be coming out, forcing the unstoppable force out of Azog. So that's going to be a huge cooldown and a huge engage tool actually that's going to be down from ADP Gaming, and they're definitely going to be missing out on that when they want to try and take it. But they're going to be going for a 3-2 push here, or 1-1-3, I guess.
I think Gragas is coming by. He's going to come with the flank here.
Ooh.
And maybe, I hope Graves stays top, pushes that inhibitor tower in.
Yeah.
And they got to send Malphite to stop the next.
But here he comes, and they're actually going to be getting the engage on the Flamefire, and he's going to actually have to be forced to use the ult, but he's going to go down to Little Tough Guy here. V80, Help Me, though. No one's really around to help him out, but this Soraka ult is going to do enough to save his life.
Soraka doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, Never Lucky's going to pick that up, and he's going to actually be forced to flash out of the Curtain Call, and double kill here for the Azir, and Lux is the only one left alive in that Tilly, and Azog is forced to fight for the inhibitor here. Similidon is doing the best to chunk it out. He's going to actually picking up the tower, and now Azog running for his own life here. Flash here from Similidon. The dash should be up soon. The ult not enough to actually pick up the kill for himself, and the rest of the team here is going to be forced to push this bot map, and now they're just going to be keep pushing all these objectives in. That's going to be another inhibitor.
Inhibitors will be picked up here, and then maybe just go to Baron and then win. That's what I would do, I think. Maybe not even do the Baron.
Yeah, it might be tough, though, just because Azog is now at full health here. Similidon, I don't know if he can really win this one at this point, but they are going to keep going on to this inhibitor. Death timers are still pretty low. It's only 29 minutes. It's not at like the 40-minute mark or anything like that yet, so we already do see the entire team back up here. TSM Never Lucky, he's in a tough spot here. Final Spark going to come out, but everyone got very, very low from the Emperor's Divide there. Help Me doing a nice body slam to keep everyone kind of in check here. Azog chunked out very much. He's actually going to be the one to take down Similidon there, but never...
They're going to go for the win here.
Never Lucky going to pick up another kill here. Looking very, very lucky indeed, actually. They might actually look to close out this game. Help Me, though, getting chunked out from the tower quite a bit here. Little Tough Guy, though, is still quite healthy, and they might keep trying to push here.
No.
Actually, no, they're going to back off, maybe heal up a little bit, and then go for this Baron.
They failed on my timer. The 30 minutes is not there. It's 29:45. I don't think they could do it. If they would have went for the win there, I think they could have. I don't know if they could have won, but they could have beaten my timer.
Yeah, so this is definitely a much more one-sided game than we saw last time.
I agree in some respects. It felt pretty one-sided after 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, more one-sided for all the lanes. I mean, there were some lanes that were like a little bit closer, like the bot side, stuff like that. But now it's definitely handed it in every lane.
Really, only one team fight was won by ADP Gaming, which was a good call by them, and they won it fair. And it's just now they know that the flank is possible. They know that they're looking for that flank, and they have great vision to stop to know where the Zac is jumping in from. And they just there hasn't been any situations where they even can team fight because they've just been pressuring the map ever since they got Baron.
Yeah, and I mean, that's another thing you have when you have an Azir, though, is very, very fast Baroning power there very early on. And we're going to see Azog chunked out here quite a bit early on, and the explosive cast coming out from Help Me. Going to try and slow that down a little bit. Curtain Call actually going to be coming out. Going to be able to find some of the members there. Just going wide of Azog there again. Missing 2 of those bullets, and going to find the 4th one on a Lol, chunking him out quite a bit there. Quarter of his health gone just from that one crit. That 4th auto doing a ton of damage there. This Baron, though, is going to be enough to probably take down this inhibitor for sure and keep pushing on as the minions are pushing further and further into the base. But Help Me is body slamming in, but here comes Flamefire X using the ultimate to split up the team. Never Lucky caught on the front line there, and he's actually gonna have to use the Emperor's Divide to push everyone out, but the heals coming out from the Soraka just doing too much. That's gonna be a triple kill picked up for Never Lucky, and it might be his lucky day as they're actually gonna close out the game here as Flamefire X is the only one alive. Silence gonna be able enough to stop him, and the passive is actually going to be popped there from him there, and they're just going to be standing on his body, more or less adding insult to injury there, and they're going to be slowly but surely picking out the end of the game here, and that is going to be a 2-0 for Malicious Intent.
Yeah, they got the win in a more decisive manner, I think, than last time, and that's exactly how it goes when you're that far ahead.
Yeah,
I like the way they played. I like the map movements. I like the snowball that they usually do, and that secures their first place.
Yeah, I mean, again, Malicious Intent has some great drafting. I mean, they recognized the tools that worked last time, and they knew what they kind of wanted coming into this one. They first picked the Jhin. It wasn't banned away as it was last game. So they realized, hey, we want to pick this up early on. We're going to risk giving up the Graves. Wasn't taken away.
And they also left it up.
Yeah, and so they kind of got everything they wanted out of the draft again.
Yeah.
And it worked out for them for sure. I mean, Similidon on this Graves is a force to be reckoned with. But as we see, even Never Lucky on this Azir, 13, 3, and 10, picking up a triple kill in that last fight. And, I mean, consistently picking up multiple kills in every fight. And his damage was completely off the charts, like more or less doubling everyone from the ADP Gaming.
Even from his own team.
Yeah, from his own team, too. Ezreal actually putting up a surprising amount of damage, too. I didn't think he was actually going to do that much, putting up more than the Jhin and the Graves. But still, I mean, this Azir was kind of the unsung hero of that. I mean, we usually expect Similidon or Little Tough Guy to be the carry lords of this team, but he definitely stepped up, making some very, very slick plays on this Azir.
We saw mid Scion that's like not going to do the most damage, but Azir,
yeah, and mid Nautilus, stuff like that. Yeah.
Azir definitely helped improve his damage per minute charts. But
yeah, but I mean, it's showing that he has a lot of flexibility in his mid lane. I mean, he can play those really weird tanks in the mid lane. He can play counter picks. He can play you know, a lot of DPS. He can play assassin, stuff like that. So TSM Never Lucky, I mean, showing that he's a very flexible player when it comes to this Malicious Intent lineup, which is very strong for what they need.
Yeah, I agree. They secure their first place. ADP now, I think, sits in like 5th or 6th. So another 2-0 out of their. I think they have one series win, which is against Sasquatches, and then they might have a tie in there. I'm not entirely sure. So now they have they're either 1-2 or 1-1-1.
Yeah.
Whereas 3-0, so 9 points picked up for Team Malicious Intent, and they're the only team through 3 weeks to do that. So separating themselves already from the pack.
Yes, very, very true. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here this week at SKL. Next week, we are going to be seeing ADP Gaming, which you just saw tonight, taking on Viz Major.
Yeah.
Another very, very strong team. It should be
I think those are two teams that are right in the middle fighting for that 4th spot. It feels like a couple 1-1 splits for Viz Major early in the season. They had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But they are still in the middle, and they still need to earn their top 4 spot. And ADP could pull out a couple key points if they want to win that one.
Exactly. So that is going to be kicking off at 7 p.m. on Monday, March 29th. So make sure you guys check out those games. Those are going to be starting up next week. Followed up by some other very great games with Fellowship of the Nerds and Anixia Esports, which will probably, I'd say, be our matchup of the week.
I think that would be my match of the week. That's a huge one. Other than that, we got Malicious Intent taking on Sasquatches. So that's really just first and worst. And
Toxic.
in the standings right now, that's first and worst.
Yes.
Literally, I'm not being toxic. And then Argon 53 and Revolution Death Squad are two teams that really need those points if they want a chance at playoffs.
My mistake. We don't actually have a game on Monday. It looks like.
It's because it's Holiday Monday. So
yeah. So not Monday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, March 29th is going to be our starting of the week. We're actually going to have 2 games on the Thursday. So it's going to be Malicious Intent and Argon 53, those sets of games on the Thursday.
Yeah.
So no games Monday. Tuesday, 7 o'clock is when we're going to be kicking back up with ADP Gaming versus Viz Major. But guys, we do have a couple sponsors that we cannot forget to mention. We're going to have Wide Mouth Media, the guys that make all of our beautiful content here. They make all the banners, the overlays, all the stuff you see behind us. Basically, the website that you guys see if you go to check out any of the schedules, which you can find all that information on the sidebar as well as below in the Twitch page. But they also do a lot of stuff for us, so can't thank them enough for all they do. Another one of our sponsors is going to be the Mana Bar, which is going to be one of Saskatoon's esports bars that is going to be opening up tentatively spring 2016.
Yep.
So make sure you guys check them out on Facebook. They always keep a lot of updates, a lot of contests, stuff like that.
And
Cool
also,
info.
Yeah, and also big shout out to Skillas over here. Thanks for showing up,
Hi,
Skillas.
Skillas.
You want to say anything today? No? Okay.
He's chatty, I know
He's
it.
chatty.
Yeah.
He's feeling chatty
Chatty
today.
Cathy over here. He's...
Yeah, well, big shout out to all our sponsors and all of you for tuning in tonight on the final night of the week 3 in SKL. I have been Peter Crafty Buckeye McKay, joined by
Bailey Ponox-Dietrich, and we'd like to wish you guys a happy Easter.
Yep.
Make sure you guys are taking care on the holidays. But that is going to wrap it up for us here at SKL this week. So make sure you guys tune back in next week. See you guys.
I threw the intro in.
Mike.
Hey guys, see ya.